Yo, what's up? We are now sitting in the MG5 MG EP. I'm testing it right now, range test, but in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ora Funky Cat that overheated. I think Great Wall Motors, they can fix this by making a software update. So let me tell you, I have an idea here. I noticed that when the car was overheating, the fans would be running at higher speed. So I have to explain a little bit how it works. I talked to the engineers at Great Wall Motors, and they told me that the car has liquid cooled motor, but it doesn't have AC unit for cooling the liquid again. So the way I understand it is that you cool down the motor, and then the liquid passes through a radiator, and then there's a fan there. So to, of course, increase the cooling rate, you then run the fan at higher speed. But yeah, so, and also, by the way, some people also wonder what's going to happen if you drive fast on the Autobahn, or if you drive out on the motorway, let's say between Bangkok and Pattaya, and you want to hammer at 120 kilometers per hour, and it's 35-40 degrees Celsius in a tarmac. Will it also overheat? I don't think so, because the load you need to maintain speed at the motorway is way lower than having to push so much weight up a mountain. And not only that, but the air that passes through the radiator at high speed will be way, way higher than when you go up a mountain and you only have the speed of 20 to 40 kilometers per hour air passing through. So even if we don't have an AC unit cooling down the coolant, I think it still won't overheat. But this is just a guess. Of course, I need to test it myself one day to see if it overheats or not. But okay, so how can we fix this with a software update then? Well, I noticed that there are some thresholds for what fan speed it will be running at. So once it hits a certain temperature, it will then start spinning the fan higher, but it won't do that all the time. So my suggestion is to make a new mode. There's a button on the right side of the steering wheel where you change different modes, sport mode or whatever. We can have a mode called hill climb mode. And when you enable the hill climb mode, you will then, it's almost like a track mode in Tesla. Once you enable track mode, you will hear the fan spinning up, and the radiator, the AC unit kicks in and start cooling the drivetrain and the battery to lower the temperature so that it is ready for truck driving, because we know that with truck driving you will increase the heat quite fast. And the same thing can be done with a hill climb mode, is that once you enable it, it's going to suck a little bit more power, but we're just talking about a few extra, I don't know, 100 watt extra. But then we will then cool down the motor as much as it can, because I noticed when you climb the mountain, it's not a continuous steep hill all the time. There are steep sections and then some not so steep sections, and usually when you have the hairpin turns, you get really steep climbs. So what we want to do is to cool it down as much as we can, even between the heavy parts. So what you want to do is actually you need to build up coolness. Yeah, you need to reduce the heat as much as you can. For example, instead of cooling it down to 100 degrees and then just slow down on the fan. No, just keep cooling down the motor until you hit maybe 30 degrees Celsius, and then you can start slowing down. So by doing that, I believe that even if you have a few peaks here and there when you go up the mountain, you will not hit the critical part where you start getting turtle mode and then even a shutdown. So of course this needs to be tested. But I already told Great Wall Motors about this, and they are positive about this. So this is great that, in general, Chinese companies, they are actually willing to listen to influencers and customers and try to improve the cars. Just like we have seen in the MG about the Bing Bing, you know, they actually reduced the amount of Bing Bing, and also Norwegian customers were complaining about the slow charging in winter, and they even implemented a button to activate the battery heater as the only EV that has that button. Not even Tesla has it. Well, Tesla kind of has it. If you just navigate to any fast charger, it will also preheat the battery. But you see, I'm actually hoping and thinking that Great Wall Motors, they will also implement something like this, because they take it seriously, really. They even send a bunch of people, a test team, to drive up it was Pujifa, the mountain, to see how it went, and they didn't go crazy fast. They went more normal speed like most people do, and they didn't get any overheating problem. The guy who hit the overheating, he was actually kind of hammering it. And also when I did the test, by the way, yes, many people say, but you can just put sandbags in there. Well, I don't have sandbags in my home. I could put coconuts in the car maybe, but that's going to take a while. But I figured out that if you know physics, if you just drive a little bit faster, you can also achieve the same level of stress as if you have more people in the car. I don't know, you probably haven't seen how it is, but if you try to drive up a mountain in typical tourist season or just weekend, there will be so many slow pokes up there, and you won't be able to drive nearly as fast as I did during my test. So yes, I think that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.